My name is Matt Bertulli. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pila. Pila right now, we sell a compostable phone case. It was really nice to come across a product and an idea that everything that we did sell would leave no trace. What we're trying to do is create a waste-free future. I've quite literally grown up in retail. My grandparents were retailers, my mom was a retailer, and then I got into sort of the e-commerce version of it in the early 2000s. So I've spent enough time in the space from its very inception. There's just a lot of patterns and things that I was seeing. I'm like, this probably could be a book. If people knew how to do this, like if they really knew how, in particular like e-com and retail played together, that maybe there's more businesses for good that could be born. Probably because a lot of my friends did. Like, if I'm being honest, it was just, I got a half a dozen friends that have used you guys, and I respect them, and I think they're really smart dudes. So I didn't think I was any smarter in the space and decided to follow the crowd. I'm really happy I did. It just felt really comfortable. I like that insecurity going in and during the process. When I look back now, I'm like, it was actually not too bad. Like a lot of stuff, there's way larger mountains I climb in professional life than what this did. And I think that's a testament to the team that I was working with. Was just, they made it easy and it felt easy. It started to feel not as large of a daunting task. So now when I look back, I'm like, I could probably do another one. It was a lot smoother than I thought it would be. Frankly, like any holdup in the process was probably me, which just not clear on what I wanted to say on something, so needed to take some time. But other than that, it went like really fast. So I was surprised by how quickly you could start and finish one of these projects. When they first told me like, yeah, it'll take this long, I'm like, yeah, right. Like there's no freaking way that's possible. I was wrong. The amount of help that you guys provided was just awesome. And there's so many stupid nuances to publishing a book and promoting a book that I had no idea about. And I still think it's ridiculous, some of these nuances, but it is what it is. Oh man, the launch for sure. There's just like this shit stream of stuff that comes at you during launch, and it's a lot of fun. Like there's just so many little things that has to happen in the coordination of the whole thing. It felt like just orchestra or ballet. Like it was really cool. We did a few things with like Reddit and just posting like my whole story and getting Reddit. There's a large community of entrepreneurs on Reddit, and that was probably like the one thing that we did that I couldn't believe how much traction we could get just from one freaking Reddit post. It was crazy, man. I was on there for like 4 or 5 hours. So like my team doing all this other stuff, and I was just sitting there hammering out responses on Reddit. Honestly, like just having a freaking book to leave behind and say like, I think like this chapter is probably the most relevant to you, or if you start here, this will help. That has been the number one impact professionally, because leaving that behind it just builds this like amount of confidence, and none of my competition can do it. So the fact that like even if that person was having 4 conversations just like mine with 4 other people just like me, I am the only one leaving a book behind. We went from working with customers that were doing like under $20 million in online sales to now we have sites that do like $300 or $400 million in sales, like one site. So it was a pretty big jump up the food chain. It reframed a lot of our selling, which means some of these customers that I would have never gotten before, we were now closing them. I bet you into the 7 figures for sure. Like to me, into the 7 figures, absolutely. Yeah, like enterprise value of both companies has gone up. So I would probably say like you're into the millions.